as an organizer, I have to make a plug first before I run out of time about for the CCA bill, which I'm really seeing as round 2 of the Prop 16 battle. Senator Leno has introduced this bill. It's SB 790. I have fact sheets here. It would be heading into Energy Committee sometime next month. Please grab these. There's also we threw a quick site together, prop16round2.org for this. It doesn't level the playing field with PG&E, but it does many good technical fixes to solve some of the ongoing battle that it is still very alive and well in Prop 16's wake for Marin and other CCAs.
It's been calendared in the Energy Committee.
Great.
April 28th.
April 28th. Let's go to Sacramento for all kinds of reasons. And then, you'd mentioned courage earlier, and I think one of the things I want to talk about, it really takes courage to talk about efficiency in a room like this when I don't know that much about it, but I'm going to tackle it anyway. I worked on the grassroots side in the years leading up to Marin's launch, and am now that it's up and the real political dance that it was to get it through, we had to go before 11 different town and city councils, not once but twice, plus the Board of Soup. So when Paul, you mentioned earlier a need for the political will to really accelerate the change. It does need to be there, and it was tough in those rooms to imagine pitching much more than what we did. But the really nice news out of Marin right now is that they have refinanced the debt, paid off taxpayers completely, so it is now a standalone agency, and the time, I think, is now to start really ramping up pressure for the localization effort there. I know they're building a credit rating toward that end now, so exciting things are happening. They did put out a 40 megawatt RFP and got 633 megawatts of all new renewable production in response to that. There were contract meetings yesterday to start determining the short list on that. It looks like high quality stuff. So it's just exciting to see what can happen now that it's alive and well after being on death's door so many times. So on the efficiency front, this really came about for a few reasons. My real interest over the last couple months on how CCA, it's such a good tool for change in so many ways, and in really reflecting a community's values around its energy future. And I'm critically interested in how it can change how efficiency is procured in California as well. And I always turn to Barbara George when I have my total floundering beginner questions around this, and she started mentioning other areas of the country that are actually waxing California in certain ways in the efficiency area. And after reading Al Weinrub's excellent report late through one night and recognizing how over the barrel we're going to be if they go forward with the kind of transmission investment that they're looking at over the next years, the $20 billion worth of investment to access these large-scale solar. And they're going to put all of us on the hook for that kind of spending if we can't fight for DG fast and hard. And I really see efficiency as a demand resource as kind of the ultimate in distributed generation. I mean, it really is right in your own hands and right in your own usage. And the the kind of urgency that Randy is talking about and that Paul is talking about, the lead time on efficiency is exquisitely short. But when I was talking to Barbara early on, she was mentioning some of the progress that Texas has made, and then this real breakthrough in New England with the New England ISO, where they were able to change the requirements so that efficiency could bid into a portfolio right alongside the renewable providers as a demand resource. And if it won on pricing and credit worthiness and the rest of it, it would be right in there as part of the portfolio, and it would qualify as part of, what we know in California as resource adequacy going forward. So that's a real stumbling block in California, is that efficiency procurement is not acknowledged as a part of your long-term procurement planning and your resource adequacy requirements. So if that could change, it feels like we could kind of leap forward in ways that the New England ISO was able to, with 1,000 megawatts of efficiency under contract. And there's this other thread that turned up in that seems like it could unlock the financing aspect, the third-party financing aspect around efficiency procurement, which is, I came across it around the Empire State Building retrofit in New York. They're looking at 39% savings after this efficiency retrofit. They're looking at a 3-year payback on the investment there. And the contracting was set up based on this Clinton Climate Initiative model that built performance standards into those contracts. So then you could go to a financing body and start enjoying the same kinds of advantages that solar has been enjoying. And just, Mark Toney also was really waking me up to that need to look at use, because it's so cheap, 3 to 5 cents a kilowatt hour. In the Texas programs, there's wonderful resources online. They tested so many different programs in Texas and came out with this average of $409 a kilowatt, which compares sort of spectacularly well to the costs associated with so many of our supply side resources. And they really broke it down. And that $409 includes PV, which is not true in our calculations in California. So if you pull that out, the comparison becomes even more dramatic. And so that sort of cost invitation seems like it could benefit so many more communities faster. And the other thing that is appealing to me about it is, it keeps coming up too, this theme about the uncertainty when you're relying on government subsidies and incentives. There's so much uncertainty for developers in that. We were listening the other night to the head of Sunrun talk about their activities in different states and how suddenly these subsidies that they'd built their entire financing plans on were yanked or frozen. And I think we've got to anticipate that and be weaning everything that we're doing, building that kind of resilience that the H bonds would against that. And it feels like efficiency can go forward there. So I'm just really looking forward to CCA's next steps here and how San Francisco can do more and better faster, and Sonoma can do more and better faster. I'm really excited to see a very competitive CCA market trying to really outdo each other on financing and procurement. And I think some really wonderful things came out of Prop 16, which is I think we're all discovering our alliances around the state and now more around the nation. And I know on these ongoing regulatory battles, some of which are addressed in this bill, one upside of those have been the bringing together of CCA with its natural allies in the direct access markets around the PCIA exit fee issues and other issues. So I think the real alliances are building on so many of these battlefronts, and I'm looking forward to conversations with much smarter people on solving this efficiency procurement puzzle for CCA going forward. And if you want to hear from someone who knows about efficiency, Barbara George's breakout is at 3, and I'll be talking about something I actually know something about, which is organizing, in another one of the breakouts. Thank you so much.
Great.